The winter session of Parliament commences tomorrow. We completely and fully understand that politics is the lifeblood of democracy. But politics should not become the sole business of democracy. It is legitimate to have a difference of perception on a particular issue or various issues. However, Parliament is the institution, is the platform where these differing viewpoints have to be discussed, debated, finally reconciled, if not resolved. This is important to also maintain the supremacy of Parliament as envisaged in the constitutional scheme of things. This session of Parliament takes place at a very important point in time. The crisis in the Eurozone countries and its implications on India is a matter of concern. There has been a very slow economic recovery in various other economies around the globe. There is important financial business legislation which is under consideration in the pipeline and would be brought before Parliament. So therefore, there is a whole menu of issues which require the attention of the elected representatives of the sovereign. If you may recall that the last winter session of the Parliament got completely wiped out because of a CAG report. The facts which are now emerging in the public domain suggest that there may be a different end to the tale. So therefore, it's our appeal to all the political parties, all of them who are equal stakeholders in democracy, that let's have our differences, but let's allow Parliament to function. Thank you very much. If you want to repeat in Hindi, I can do it, or otherwise the floor is yours. ठीक है. देखिए, हाईकोर्ट का जो फैसला है वो अभी अभी आया है, उसका अध्ययन करने की ज़रूरत है, लेकिन एक बात बिल्कुल स्पष्ट है कि गुजरात में 2001 से लेकर और 2007-8 तक निरंतर कई फर्जी मुठभेड़ें हुई हैं और उसके ऊपर विभिन्न न्यायालयों ने टिप्पणी भी की है, जांच के भी आदेश दिए हैं, जो दोषी हैं उनके खिलाफ कार्रवाई भी की है. तो इस संदर्भ में जो हाईकोर्ट का फैसला आया है इशरत जहां के मामले को लेकर, वो उन्हीं तथ्यों को दोबारा से प्रमाणित करता है जिसके बारे में कांग्रेस पार्टी और जो मानवाधिकार के कार्यकर्ता हैं वो चिंता व्यक्त करते रहे. हमारी ये उम्मीद है कि हाई कोर्ट की इस डायरेक्शन के बाद इशरत जहां के मामले में न्याय और इंसाफ ज़रूर होगा।
आपने इंडिकेट किया लास्ट में कि सीएजी की रिपोर्ट जो आई थी वो शॉर्ट थी, जो तक सब सामने आ रहे हैं, तो एलैबोरेट करेंगे कौन सा तथ्य सामने आ रहे हैं?
मैं एलैबोरेट करने के लिए इसलिए थोड़ा सा संकोच कर रहा हूँ क्योंकि मैं उस संयुक्त संसदीय समिति का खुद सदस्य हूँ। लेकिन जो भी तथ्य सार्वजनिक हुए हैं कि सीएजी के भीतर से जिन लोगों ने इस प्रक्रिया को लीड किया है, जिन्होंने उस रिपोर्ट के ऊपर हस्ताक्षर किए थे, वो किन परिस्थितियों में किए गए थे और उनकी जो अधिकृत राय थी वो क्या थी, ये सारी रिपोर्ट्स या ये सारे तथ्य एक बहुत बड़ा प्रश्न चिन्ह खड़ा करते हैं। इसके ऊपर हम कोई फैसला इसलिए नहीं सुना रहे हैं क्योंकि मामला अभी विचाराधीन है। मैं यही बात कह रहा था कि जिस तरह के तथ्य सामने आए हैं, खासकर पिछले 2 और 3 महीनों में, वो इस पूरी रिपोर्ट के ऊपर एक बहुत बड़ा प्रश्न चिन्ह लगाते हैं।
At best, a guesstimate was a notional loss that never existed. This has been contradicted by the CAG, and the CAG has now said that there was no attempt at sensationalizing, and on the contrary, in the course of conducting this report, the CAG also came across a much larger figure of 4 lakh crores. This is a whole new figure and gives a whole new dimension to the entire controversy. What's the communist view on that?
Well, since the JPC is in the process of recording evidence, I would rather be circumspect on the question. But you know, it's very interesting that you have a figure of no loss, because there is a view from within the CAG that since the TRAI did not recommend the auction in 2G spectrum and the government did not take a decision to auction it, so therefore there is no loss. Then there is another figure of 2,645 crores, which the principal auditor who signed off on the report arrived at. Then there is a third figure of 5,388 crores, which was also arrived at during the process of the report being formulated. Then you have a figure of 57,000 crores, then a figure of 69,000 crores, then a figure of 1,76,000 crores, and now you have this figure which has been tossed in the public domain of 4,19,000 crores. Now it begs the question that if at all there was a loss, it can't go from 0 to 4,19,000 crores. There has to be a determinate figure. And therefore, with all these huge numbers being tossed in the public domain, you know, I ask myself this question: are we really swinging from the sublime to the ridiculous? Because after all, the objective of an audit is to pinpoint the loss. It cannot, from within the CAG, go from zero loss to 4,19,000 crores. Something seriously amiss there.
But have the JPC gone into finding?
Huh?
Have the JPC gone into finding how what was the internal basis of CAG on this 4 lakh crore figure was being worked upon?
Well, I can't comment on the internal deliberations of the Joint Parliamentary Committee. That would be totally.
How will you pinpoint this figure? How will you pinpoint this figure? What will be your evaluation of this figure? Or your projection?
Well, to bunch it together, what has appeared in the public domain is that the figure of 4,19,000 crores was arrived at after calculating the equity infusion into a particular company and then projecting it across 122 companies. The reason why ostensibly that was not included in the report was on the premise that it was an equity infusion into an established player. Now, if you apply the same logic, there was an offer by another established player on the basis of which the loss was computed at 5,388 crores. So therefore, then why was that figure left out of the report? To your specific question as to how do we compute the loss? Well, first of all, allow me to reiterate what my colleagues have said earlier. We do not accept the loss figures which have been put out by the CAG. And insofar as putting a final determinate figure on it, whether at all the loss can be quantified or not, which essentially means that there was no loss or zero loss, or was there really a determinate figure which you can put onto that amount? I think we should leave that to the wisdom of the JPC. Since they are going into the question, they are taking evidence, I think we should await the outcome of that report.
आपको लगता है जीरो लॉस से 4,19,000 करोड़ का फिगर जा रहा है, आंकड़ा जा रहा है, और वो तमाम आंकड़े जेपीसी के अंदर ही अलग-अलग मुख्तलिफ लोगों की राय में शुमार हो रहे हैं? क्या आपको लगता है कोई बिल्कुल साफ तस्वीर उभर कर सामने आनी जरूरी है?